Hey guys, this is Tyler. So I just want to apologize right now for the audio in this one. I did my best to clean it up and clear it up the best I can. Unfortunately, this is about all I could do. So I apologize once again. I don't know what happened or why that happened, but hopefully it won't happen again. But hope you guys still enjoy the show. Thanks. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to episode 314 of the Drunk Dashers podcast. I'm your host, as always. I'm Tyler, and joining me with the man, the myth, the legend himself, Sir Colonel Gables. What's up, buddy?
Hey, man. 314. That's the number.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, in the world of Gables, man, really nothing really has been going on too well. But at the same point, I'm glad I'm actually recording a podcast. And yeah, I have played some bits of games this week, but yeah,
Cool.
it's been kind of busy. But how have you been, Tyler?
I've had worse weeks. I've had better weeks. Monday, I had a Sunday night, I had a park in the street. We had a big snowstorm
Yeah.
on Saturday. And so like a lot of the side roads weren't plowed yet. So I ended up having a park on the street
Yeah.
on Sunday night. And then woke up Monday morning, go to work, and just my luck, two people decided to park about about 2 feet of space on both sides of me. And they were just nice enough finally to plow the roads. So my car now had a bunch of snow around it, and I was surrounded by cars.
Wow.
So I couldn't get out, so I had to take an Uber to work. First time I've ever been late to work in my entire life.
Wow.
And then get off work, take an Uber back to my car. Finally, kind of shoveled out. It warmed up throughout the day, so it kind of melted some. But they went and plowed the road again, so I had more snow surrounded by it. So I was sitting there like shoveling behind my tires with all I had was a scraper. I had no shovel around, and then I finally get it out. Finally get it out of there. Get about 50 feet down the road, flat tire.
Aw.
Yeah. So then had to change my tire, put on my spare, and then drive across town to Firestone and get it patched. So that was not a fun day. It sucked because like I'm like, oh sweet, I finally got off at like a decent time. I had got off like at 3:00, like the first time. I got off work before like 4:30 for the first time in, I don't know, a month or more, probably 6 weeks.
Ah.
And I was like, sweet. Ended up spending 4 hours changing my tire, getting across town, and waiting for my tire to get fixed.
Ah.
So yeah, so I ended up getting home later than I normally do. So that sucked. Yeah, but I don't know. Other than that, it hasn't been too bad. Kind of started off poorly, but it got better as the week went along. Still haven't got a chance playing the game. Just been super busy still. A lot of shit going on. We're doing a big remodeling project at the house. And work, obviously, working 11-hour days plus Saturday, and then coming home and we're painting the kitchen. We're ripping up all the carpet in the house, and
Right.
we're gonna get some tiles put in and everything like that. So it's been a lot. So, but hopefully we're hoping that'll be done in the next couple weeks, and finally maybe I'll have some time to play some video games. Because I have Anthem just came out. I got Metro Exodus. I haven't started. I played like 2 or 3 hours of Resident Evil. So we're in February, and I'm already got a hell of a backlog going. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Nothing too crazy going on with me other than that. But Gables,
Yes.
it's been a pretty crazy couple weeks now with gaming, especially on the Nintendo side of things.
Oh, no shit.
So we have like 4 topics I think this week, 4 or 5, and I think 3 of them are Nintendo related. So I think we're gonna start off with probably the biggest news that's gonna affect the company more than anything. Is that unfortunately, it's bittersweet really. I think it's more unfortunate for us, but for him it's probably a good thing. Or we're happy for him. But Reggie Fils-Aime, who is the Nintendo of America president, he is retiring on April 15th, and of all people, Doug Bowser will be replacing him as president. So they released a really nice video. It was like 3-minute long video. Reggie did with like a lot of cool B-roll and everything like that. Like I was fighting back some tears when I was watching that one. But he he said in this video that Nintendo owns a part of my heart forever. It's a part that is filled with gratitude for the incredible incredibly talented people I've worked with for the opportunity to represent such a wonderful brand, and most of all, to feel like a member of the world's most positive and enduring gamer community. As I look forward to departing in both good health and good humor, it is not game over for me, but instead leveling up to more time with my wife, family, and friends. Now, it has been my great fortune to work with and be mentored by Reggie. I'm sorry, I'm on the wrong. I moved to the wrong person. So this quote's from Doug Bowser. He said, "It has been my great fortune to work with and be mentored by Reggie for 4 years at Nintendo of America, and rest assured, we will continue to build on his work to evolve and expand our brand, furthering Nintendo's global mission of creating smiles. There are millions more of those to come." So yeah, I think I don't know if this is like talked about before or like this has been out there, but I think it's from the sounds of it, sounds like this was a shock to pretty much everybody. So who knows how long this has been in the works for Reggie and Nintendo. But I don't know, when you saw this, Gables, where were you with this one?
I was actually kind of
How'd you feel?
surprised as well, to be perfectly honest with you, because it's like it definitely came out of left field, considering that how well the Nintendo Switch has been going through its success and everything else, and it kind of leaves a feeling of like just something you just don't really see too often, and that's somebody inside of a head corporate position, just actually wanted to go the route that he went, that's retire. He obviously has made plenty of bank and stuff like that to live out the rest of his life with his family and this and that, but it's just something that's it's like really positive and sort of enlightening, because it's like the exact opposite of like some other people in the gaming industry, like in the corporate structures, like an EA's or an Activision's or those head honchos there. But then you go over and you look at Reggie Fils-Aime, what he's done exactly since taking over as Nintendo of America's like president, from being at Pizza Hut, like previously and stuff, and a lot of the positivity and a lot of things that he's done and progressed and stuff. It's really a crazy ride for someone when you come to think about it, because hell, a lot of us were skeptical of the guy when he first came in and stuff for that one E3 press conference and stuff when I think the DS was announced and stuff like that, and one of his opening phrases was, "I'm here to kick ass and take names," and that kind of like
we're about making games.
Exactly, and that really caught a lot of people off guard, and so we came from being kind of unsure of Reggie, and then progressively gotten so used to him. But some of the biggest highlights I think of having, like, say, watching Reggie over the years throughout the conferences, Nintendo Directs, this and that and stuff, is just that sort of, like, close kin relationship that he had, like, a lot of his workers, and especially a lot of the other, like, key people in Nintendo at the time, like, say, Mr. Miyamoto, and even more especially, like, Satoru Iwata and stuff like that. It's so awesome, because it's, like, it was like this dynamic that you hardly ever see. It definitely felt like a comfortable sort of blend for the outsider looking in. It kind of less made it feel, those three guys in general, Satoru Iwata, Reggie Fils-Aime, Mr. Miyamoto, and stuff like that, they kind of gave off a feel of sort of like a family sort of atmosphere from the outsider looking in. And it's like, okay, I want to enjoy these games and stuff like that. It's kind of the perception that some people may have, or some is like viewing some corporations as sort of like some companies as like family in sort of a way.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's definitely a dangerous thing to do. And quite honestly, if for those listening and stuff, it's like, trust me, for a corporation type of standpoint, stuff, you don't want to look at it as that aspect and stuff like that, because a corporation is a corporation. I mean, I don't want to bring it down inside of a standard to what exactly like that we're covering at the moment, but it's like, you got to really kind of think for yourself in terms of like things, because it's not really the corporation or the company that gives it that vibe. It's the people and the coworkers you work with that present that sort of level. And so having that type of dynamic that Reggie did have, not only with his coworkers and a lot of the people that he helped like boss and tutor and like mentor and stuff like that, it definitely came as a bit of a surprise, not just to me, but like just to everybody around the gaming industry. This is a few years removed from Satoru Iwata's untimely passing and stuff, and now we have another key member there just like retiring. And man, I was seeing tweets all around and sort of past couple days. It's like, yeah, you guys, it's like if you think this is big or something like that, wait until how you guys feel when like Mr. Aonuma or Mr. Miyamoto retires and stuff. Like, oh god, I ain't ready for that shit. Mm-hmm. We know it's coming eventually, because those guys are not getting any younger, but still,
no.
And I'll just say for the record, having a guy as the Nintendo of America president with the last name of Bowser, Jesus Christ, dude, it still rings as funny to this day. Because I remember when Doug Bowser was being hired on and stuff. It's like, oh hey, his last name is
Yeah.
Bowser, and now whenever he's going on stage and stuff, like even the casual people that look at gaming and this is like, oh, they got Bowser right there as the president. But honestly, it definitely is a bit of sad, kind of somber news and stuff that he's retiring. But at the same point, he did bring a lot of a lot of influence, a lot of positivity to Nintendo of America, and kind of presented it more as an effort and stuff like that. That a lot of people will definitely appreciate from going on, looking back. But of course, you know how some people can be a little bit petty and stuff like that, and this and that and stuff. You know how the thing for years, like, people wanted Reggie to announce Mother 3 and stuff coming to America
Yeah.
and this and that and stuff. I just look at that as like, guys, really? I mean, come on. He did what he basically could, and plus all the freaking legal crap and stuff surrounding the Mother series throughout the years and stuff. Just be happy we got Mother 1 and 2 freaking re-released digitally on the Wii U, or even like on the 3DS. Well, maybe not the Mother 1, but Earthbound in specific, but... Oh yeah, that's pretty much my take on it. How about yours, Tyler?
Okay. Um, like I said at the top, it's bittersweet. He's only 57, which was shocking. I mean, I didn't think he was old, but when he started talking about retirement, I'm like, oh man, maybe he's. I'm not the best sometimes at guessing ages, so maybe he's like in his 60s or something like that. Um, so yeah, I was shocked to see how young he is. So, I don't think he's done. Maybe he's done with the industry, but I feel like maybe he's probably gonna take a few years off. Or maybe he really is. Maybe he's like, hey, I've done I've done what I can. Nintendo is probably at the best it's been since when the Wii launched. But I'd argue it's in the consumer's eyes it's better than what the Wii was when it launched. Just maybe not the volume of the money side, but I think the way people look at the Switch and everything is probably better. The long term. But yeah, maybe he looks at like, I've done everything I can do here. It's like I've peaked, you know. But I think, yeah, he's done some great things. But I think the thing I'm gonna miss the most, I think the reason why we hear about people retiring or leaving companies all the time, big names but we don't really know who they are. We vaguely remember them from some press conferences and stuff like that, but we don't really care. The reason we talk about it is not just because it's Nintendo, but because, I mean, you look at, I mean, he was like the way what the directs are. They've been for the last, I don't know how long they've been around, maybe 10 years or so, or close, 7, 8 years now. What makes makes a lot of those people household names, like Iwata and Reggie and stuff, is because of these directs, like the stupid stuff they do,
Yes.
like Iwata doing the directly to you with the hand motions, and the thing with the banana and stuff like that, and Reggie with doing like the dumb workout videos, or Bill Trennan, things like that. Like we're talking about these guys. I mean, and they were great at like, with the E3 stuff. Like they were great at that. There's a lot of memorable moments there. But like you said, like the first time we saw him, it was, I'm here to kick ass, take names, and we're about making games. And we see all this, and it's great, but it's gonna be it's a little upsetting, because ever since Iwata is passed, the people that have replaced them in the directs don't have the same pizzazz as those as Iwata and Reggie do. Like those, like the
that
stuff with like,
quirkiness and all that other type of stuff that they were willing to do was just really hilarious.
Yeah,
Grand scheme
yeah,
of
like
things.
the puppets, like that only works for those two and Miyamoto. That you look at the Wii year for they were talking about Smash Brothers for the Wii U.
Oh my god!
And they had
The
Iwata
weird
and Reggie
confrontation.
fighting. Yeah, the Matrix thing.
That was so funny.
Yeah. So like you have all these like awesome, great moments that they had, and they haven't really been. I mean, Reggie's only really on the directs during E3. He doesn't
Yes.
really, and even still, like even the last one, I think he was only in it for a few minutes, and there was other people doing it. So you can definitely kind of see, especially with the one, obviously when Iwata passed, there's been a new guard coming in, and we have the new president now too. So I don't know. And part of me wonders, like, maybe this is like maybe part of the regime. He was just there to kind of get through the regime. Can't say the word, but he was there to get, let the new president kind of get his feet wet a little bit, and that was his plan. Or, once he got in, like, I'm out. So I don't know. It like I said though, it's depressing. It's sad. The Doug Bowser guy, he seems cool. Like they're showing some stuff with him in it. Some videos of him wearing like the Bowser hat and stuff like that from Mario Odyssey. But I don't know. You can't replace Reggie. You can't replace Iwata. No matter what you do or who you are, they were their own thing. So it's kind of sad now. 5 years ago we had these three great guys, and now all we have left is Miyamoto, and he's in his 70s. Who knows how much longer he's gonna be around doing this stuff?
Oh my God.
So yeah, I don't know, but luckily I'm happy for him. I don't think this is the last we'll hear of him. At least not maybe in this industry, but I think he's gonna. I bet he'll take a couple years off and then he'll be back somewhere else.
He doesn't strike me as the guy that's going to ride off into the sunset. That's for sure.
No. I think he's gonna take a well-deserved vacation, and then I won't be surprised. Yeah, like I said, won't be hearing from him for too long somewhere. But moving on to some more Nintendo news here. So this we actually talked about this in depth in the episode that that I lost a couple weeks ago. But so it sounds like it's more and more coming. This part's coming true. That the Game Pass is coming to Switch. Xbox's Game Pass, that is. So this is according to Direct Feed Games and also Game Informer. Microsoft plans to bring some Xbox games like Ori, The Blind Forest to the Nintendo eShop and allow Game Pass subscribers to access the services catalog via the Project xCloud streaming. So that's kind of like that's been their big thing now, is a streaming service, and also with the rumors of their next console going to be, it's going to have there's going to be two models. There's going to be the regular box, and there's going to be a streaming service that you just plug into your your TV, or you can download it onto your TV like an app. So it sounds like more and more likely that this is what they meant when they said the Xbox Live is coming to these to the Switch, iOS, and Android. Is that it's gonna be like a YouTube app or something, but it's gonna be, you can play games on it. So, a couple weeks ago we talked about quite a bit, like what we thought it could be and like what we hoped it would be. I don't know if this became something that this happened, would you want to pick it up?
It would only
this
depend.
Game Pass.
It honestly would depend upon which games are made available to stream over the Switch. To be perfectly honest with you, there are a few Xbox One titles that I would like to play on my Switch in specifics. I would love to see Ori and the Blind Forest. I would definitely love to see Cuphead. I mean, for God's sakes, Cuphead is one of the bigger games of the past few years that made it onto the Xbox One and on Steam, respectively.
Yep.
But just the thought that maybe I could potentially play a Gears of War game or a Forza game on my Switch has me very excited, because I like, and not just any type of Forza game. I'm talking about the Forza Horizon games, the explorable, like, open world sort of car game where I could just drive any and everywhere and just wreck the crap out of everything. And that kind of makes me wonder, though. It's like, if they incorporate like Game Pass stuff, I wonder if they'll incorporate sort of like downloads and stuff that you've bought previously on Xbox Live. It has potential.
Yeah, I don't know if it's gonna do that. When we talked about it, I thought my thing I was hoping for the most was that we just had Xbox Live, the service, on the Switch, so we'd have actual good internet service on the Switch. But no, I think this is smart on Xbox's behalf. I do think it's kind of gonna be kind of interesting though, if like, say, I don't know, with Madden 18 gets put on Xbox Game Pass, like why would that? And they also sell that game on the Switch and on Xbox. Like, is that gonna bother Nintendo, the fact that they're losing potential sales? I mean, even though they'll say the game's been out for a couple years, I don't know. I just think about like third-party games, how that's gonna work. Like, I feel like there's gonna be some, like, maybe they'll allow a bunch of like backwards compatible games in the Xbox games, but I could see a part where like things that are like they're already on the Switch you can buy, they won't let you put on that service. Because be like if Rocket League, like if they put Rocket League on Rocket League, I think is actually on Game Pass, would they let you be able to play Rocket League through the Game Pass on your Switch, and when Nintendo would rather you buy Rocket League on the Switch instead?
That's a good question. That's a good question. They would have to pick and choose what games would be made available on the Switch of itself. Even though the cross-play compatibility is definitely there for like Rocket League and for Minecraft, Fortnite, especially those games and stuff. Even if they're available even if some of them are available for free on the Xbox One or even on Game Pass and stuff like that, it's interesting to see if Nintendo actually goes the route of maybe like limiting what games could actually be presented on its system in terms of streaming wise. But it also could be potentially, like, say, a renaissance period as well, because for those gamers that are younger, that are more akin to, like, the Xbox 360 or certain Xbox franchises, maybe potentially coming onto the Switch, maybe available by Game Pass, it's like, it could be potentially a very big thing that not only would encourage them to go forth and plop down what money needs to be for Xbox Live and, like, the Game Pass stuff in general, but it also could be like a potential thing for. It could also be like a potential thing like for Microsoft as well, because considering that they've never actually reached inside of the market in terms of like handheld stuff, say like a Nintendo or like Sony have attempted to do. Because here's the thing, man, it's like, doesn't it not sound enticing to have a game like Gears of War or something, or Halo on a handheld on the go? You know?
Yeah, I don't know how it works exactly with Game Pass, where like because you can download one to your Xbox, but I think you
Well,
still have to be
yeah.
online to play them. Um, but to me, I look at it like this: like if this does happen and this works and it works well, this would get rid of. And I had like good internet service to play these games. Like the Gears 5 came out, let's just say, or Gears 6 came out. This would eliminate me needing to buy the next Xbox console
That's
completely.
very true.
Like I would be more if this is the case, and like I already have Game Pass and stuff like that. I pay for it. I have an Xbox I barely use, but like if I can just play all the only reason I would buy an Xbox unless PlayStation 5 unless they completely shit the bed with that thing, which is always a possibility. And the swings back towards the Xbox's way, and everybody's playing games on the Xbox, then that's the only reason I buy it. But just say things stay the same status quo, it just kind of eliminates the need to get an Xbox for me. Where the only reason I even have an Xbox is to play their exclusives, which we keep talking about, are few and far between. And hopefully, in a few years that will change with all the studios they've been purchasing.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. To me, I really like this idea. I really hope this is the thing. Initially, when I first heard about it, I'm like, no, this doesn't seem like a big deal. But the more I thought about it, I'm just like, oh, okay, this is next generation. This is huge for me. Like, I don't have to buy a $500-$600 box. I can just pay $50 a year. I assume I have to pay for Xbox Live and for Game Pass, which I'd be paying for if I had the new Xbox anyways. So you eliminate that $500, and I just got to pay, I don't know, $100, $120 a year for the service. And there's some good games on there. At the very least, say 2 really good exclusives from Xbox come out every year. That's my money right there. I paid for it right then and there.
You know how
So
Microsoft could actually go through, and not just like go through, let's just think of this in general right here. When Microsoft releases information upon their new Xbox line of consoles, you better believe that there's going to be some sort of elements to where they could potentially just say, no, we're not going to release these games serviceable through Game Pass and stuff. We want people to still buy our console boxes and stuff, either it being like the digital box only or the actual full-on like physical discs that you insert inside the console and stuff. There's going to be something, I feel, that is going to not only entice people to upgrade from their Xbox One S or their One X or whatever the hell into their new systems, but the Game Pass kind of in and of itself kind of presents itself in a way to help entice people who already have the Switch, because it's like, not only does it introduce them to some of the content and stuff for like what Microsoft has, but at the same point, with the Switch, with iOS devices, with like Android devices and stuff, being all that akin and stuff, you only need to release like a specific amount of games and stuff, and then when those new consoles release, and you better believe there's going to be exclusive games for those systems too, then it's going to present a sort of an option for people who already own a Switch and are kind of on the fence between getting the new PlayStation and the new Xbox. Going to be more enticed of getting the new Xbox, because it's like, not only you're going to have the Game Pass that's already going to be on this system, that's going to be corresponding to backwards compatibility of what the previous couple generations of Microsoft has released for their systems, but it's going to get the brand new games on it as well, that you're going to pay whatever the amount they charge and cost. So in a way, I kind of feel that in the grand scheme of things, this is a smart, enticing move by what Microsoft is doing in collaboration and try to streaming all of these, like, their Xbox Live and their Game Pass services on all these different devices. It's kind of funny that Microsoft's philosophy right now is trying to get their Xbox Live services on as many devices as possible, but the one
Hmm.
device that you'll never probably see it on is on the PlayStation.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, especially with PlayStation won't even take the EA access thing that Xbox has. So,
But yeah, Tyler, do you kind
uh,
of like understand sort of the direction that I'm kind of like going in terms of this? Because it's like
yeah.
it kind of is, it kind of is smart on Microsoft's side because it's like they could potentially go that route and just say, hey, you guys can have Game Pass and all this other stuff, but it's only going to be limited to Xbox, Xbox 360, and the Xbox One S or X games and stuff of that content. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think it's smart. Get out, get to them as many, instead of trying to get people to buy your stuff, just bring your stuff to them.
Yes.
Make it available everywhere. So I look at it like kind of look at Netflix, where that like when it 10 years ago when it first got put on like on Xbox, like Netflix was a thing, a lot of people had it, but I don't really remember people talking about the streaming service. And then they put them on Xbox. Then there was like the Google Chromecast, things like that. Like they went to the devices that everybody already had, and your phones, things like that. And now it's one of the biggest companies in the entire world. You look at the same thing with like YouTube. YouTube was a cool little niche thing, not really a niche thing. It had a lot of people were getting, you would see some videos out there getting hundreds of thousands of views and stuff like that. But over the last, 7 years or so, everybody watches YouTube. My sister, all she does is watch YouTube.
Yeah,
Like,
that's exactly.
I have tons of friends. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, like I was just saying, it's like YouTube is to that extent that since its release, near the time that both of us kind of graduated from like high school and respectively, has sort of evolved itself to be like a household app that everybody uses, not only for watching for their current content, but for people who have subscribed like to YouTube Red and stuff and are able to watch things without commercials and maybe watch movies and TV shows that are like paid premium stuff that you could potentially do, which, you know what,
Yeah.
it became big like that, just like what you were saying, because it presented itself on as many devices as it could back in the day, not just for PC, but eventually it made its way onto gaming systems, like say onto even some like niche ones, like say like the Vita, like the freaking 360, the PS3. You can actually watch YouTube on.
Yeah.
It's just crazy, you know.
Yeah. I think that, obviously these are video streaming services, and but I think this will be huge for them, and like just having the option, just being there, I think that will be that'd be big. But yeah, I hope this is true. I do, because I think
I
that'd
kind
be
of
great.
do as well, but the biggest issue that's going to come up is when it eventually does enable itself. Like, say the Game Pass thing was and readily announced that it's coming to Switch and stuff. What's the quality of these streams going to be like on the Switch? Because you have it on the Xbox One X, and people are actually pretty happy with the amount of streaming that you can do with the Game Pass in of itself. But bringing the Xbox Live stuff and the Pass stuff over to Switch, the quality of the streaming is definitely going to be what we're going to be looking for. Is it going to be worthwhile, or is it going to be kind of like a hogwash, like say some of PSN, like PS Now does? It's up in the air at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I hope, like I said, I hope it's true though. But sticking with Nintendo for 1,000. There's a rumor. This actually, because I listen to this podcast every day, and they said this, and I didn't really think too much of it, but it kind of picked up steam a couple days later, oddly. So last week on Kind of Funny Games Daily, it's a video game podcast that they do every day, talking about news and stuff like that. They had Iram Khan, I think I'm totally butchering his name, but he's the senior editor from Game Informer. He was on the show. I think it was like the Thursday or Friday show, and he said that Nintendo is reviving a dead and buried title, even though it was officially canned. He later on went to explain how he had heard enough about this game that he's almost sure it exists. Unfortunately, he would not mention the name of the game. And so went on from, it kind of was like a thing. They said, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And didn't really talk about too much. Like I said, I didn't think about too much. I was trying to think of like, I'm like, oh, I assume maybe he's talking about that Star Fox F-Zero game or whatever. Maybe I'm thinking Project Robot, blah, blah, blah. And then it kind of came out like on Sunday that the rumor is they're working on bringing back Scalebound of all things, which was a Platinum game that was an exclusive game that Platinum was making for Xbox One, where like there was a 4-player co-op game where there was dragons and like Guy wore Beats by Dre and stuff like that. And I think it got canceled by, I want to say, about 2 years ago now. So that's the rumor now. I don't. Do you think the rumor's true? And if just hypothetically say it is true, would you be excited to play this game on the Switch?
Now, whether or not Nintendo is actually working on a canceled game at some point, I mean, it wouldn't surprise me in the least, only considering that they have went through and funded projects in the past that seemingly would not have seen the light of day. I'm taking with it the very same, like, a gaming company to where rumors are all stemming from here, and that's Platinum Games. Platinum Games, they wanted to make Bayonetta 2, but they did not have the fundings or anything else like that until Nintendo stepped in and stuff and pretty much gave the money for them to produce Bayonetta 2 on the Wii U exclusively. So, in terms of, like, say, Scalebound and stuff, it wouldn't surprise me because of how closely knit Nintendo and Microsoft have been having with their, like, a relationship that's been building over the past few years. I mean, granted, with this whole news going around the potential, like, Xbox Live app and everything else that's going on, it doesn't strike me as a far-fetched possibility that potentially Microsoft could have potentially sold the rights to the Scalebound licensing or something like that to Nintendo. Because if you looked at the copyright stuff, and I did this actually, I went through and I checked out something like a video saying for like copyright stuff. Back during that year, back during the past couple of years and stuff, Microsoft has had that sort of trademark in the U.S. But if you go through it seriously, like say in 2019, this year, you don't see that mark. You see it maybe in Europe, but you don't see it on the U.S. So potentially, this also it also adds a little bit of like, sort of like a authenticity to where it could potentially have been sold already. But I can't really verify that because it's like the copyright stuff for licensing and everything else. It's sort of a convoluted thing, obviously, but it definitely was something that I was watching a few videos. I was definitely watching a few videos on YouTube and stuff in terms of not only the licensing stuff for like Scalebound, but also the potential of this game in of itself. I mean, here's the writing on the wall right here. You have two companies that Nintendo is on friendly terms with, Platinum Games and Microsoft at this moment in time. Scalebound has been a game that Hideki Kamiya had been wanting to build, but that went through development hell on the Xbox One, and it was supposed to be released a few years ago. We didn't hear anything more past the initial E3 announcement, and all of a sudden, we were left wondering, where's Scalebound? Where's this Xbox exclusive that was supposed to come out, But it never panned out. But if, say, they are in development and working on this canceled game, one, it definitely would be a huge thing for Nintendo because it's like, this is a game that was exclusive to Microsoft. And now this is going to be a Nintendo Switch exclusive game that could potentially be coming out like in a 2020 or 2021, potentially. I mean, that would be huge news. Now, personally, do I believe that this has, like, say, Scalebound could potentially make it on the Switch? To be perfectly honest with you, I don't really believe it all that much, even with the evidence that's suggesting otherwise. Game developers, not just game developers, but game companies in general, they look at a lot of different projects, like, daily almost, monthly, or wherever, inside of meetings, inside of, like, business stuff. But the thought of like taking a like canceled like game, say like Scalebound or remaking it something like that, it's pretty slim. It could also be potentially something else entirely that we've not even thought of. It could be something that Nintendo had outright canceled like years ago, and we have lost sight of what that game was, and could be being remade or something like that because maybe Nintendo's found the right company in order to try to do this and that. But honestly, up until it officially is announced and stuff, I can just consider this as just rumors at this point. That's pretty much my approach on it, but it definitely has some possibilities, that Scalebound Resurrection could be an actual thing. But yeah, that's my take on it.
Okay. I don't. I don't know. I mean, do I think it's true? Probably. Um, am I like necessarily excited for it? No. Um, I don't know. I think a lot of people didn't really think the game looked that great when it was shown off like threes in a row.
It was kind of generic looking, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I mean, yeah. Uh, I just didn't like. Okay, this looks like. I don't know. Like this one, I don't know. It didn't grab me like a lot of the other Platinum games.
It looks sort of
do.
like a cross between Devil May Cry and Monster Hunter, pretty much.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it. Yeah, with Beats by Dre.
That's true.
So I don't know. It didn't. Remember at the time, I'm like, this game doesn't look like it's any fun, and so I'm hoping. I don't know. I mean, if it's real, cool. Am I gonna be? I'm not gonna be excited for it now just because it's on the Switch and on an Xbox console. So I mean, if it does come out, like I said, it's awesome. That's cool. I hope the people that are excited for it are happy. But yeah, I don't know. We'll wait and see. I really don't have too much to say on it because it's just not a game I'm excited for, and I don't really feel like there's a lot of buzz behind it to begin with. But moving on to our last topic, Dreams, a game that was announced at the PS4 reveal, is finally coming out. Kinda.
Kinda.
So they had the beta early. I think it was earlier this month or sometime in January. But now it's actually a lot of people were saying some really cool things about the creator side of it. Well, now it's finally coming out in early access this spring. It's gonna be yeah, like I said, early access mode. No, like other than spring, no other dates. It's gonna be available in limited quantities, and it squarely aims at those interested in creation. Dream's full toolset will be included along with tutorials. And Media Molecule created arcade games, but it won't have all the features of the finished product, and it'll be $30. So it's digital, so I don't know how that's going to work. But apparently they're going to limit the access to it. I don't know. I'm not big into this creation stuff. I never really got big. I never really got into the Little Big Planets stuff like that. So we will. I don't know, man. I'm not super, just like the Scalebound thing. Like, I think I'm more interested to see what people do out of it. It's kind of like the Mario Maker stuff. Like, I had some fun with it, but it was more just like checking out all the cool shit people made out of it.
Oh, yeah, exactly.
And if there's cool stuff that comes out of that, then awesome. I'll probably pick it up and check it out then.
Right.
But as far as like creating stuff, that's not me. What about you?
Well, that's just the thing, though. It's like a part of those games, the do-it-yourself sort of games, like the whole WarioWare DIY and the whole Little Big Planet and the Super Mario Maker type of games, is presenting itself with tools of the options where, here, you create your own type of stuff right there, and it's like, inside of like hands of, say, like you or I or something like that, we're not going to create like very elaborate levels and stuff and try to be like genre bending stuff like some other people obviously have taken a lot more time and effort to create. But I kind of have your same approach in terms of this game in general. Is that I just don't really care right now about Dreams unless I see something that's going to potentially kind of drag me in. It's like, okay, I want this game now. It just kind of is. It kind of is like a fart in the wind almost. It's like, the content definitely isn't like kind of attractive or anything else like that, and I'm just kind of made to kind of re-smell it all over again and stuff like that as the months go on by. It's like, okay, well, this game just released already. That's basically how this my feelings are in general for it. But
awesome, like I said, top show. Hopefully, can we start gaming here in the next couple weeks? Just life is crazy right now. But I think that's going to wrap up the show for us. I want to thank you guys so much for listening. If you want to hear more from us, we do have a Facebook page and group, Drunk Nerds Podcast. Like, join us on there. On Twitter at Drunk Nerds Pod. Follow us on there. On, oh boy, I'm drawing blank. Twitch.tv/Colonel Gables. Give them a big follow, please. And then also on YouTube, Drunk Nerds. Subscribe. Give us a big thumbs up on all of our shows. Leave us a comment. Really appreciate if you did so. And then I feel like iTunes, Drunk Nerds Podcast. Subscribe, please. Give us a 5-star review. Leave us a nice little comment. And same with Spotify. I still don't really understand how the comments, if there even is a review system, but you can at the very least subscribe to us. Really would appreciate it if you did that. Once again, check us out in all those places. Thank you so much for listening. I was your host, I was Tyler.
And I have been Colonel Gables. So until next time, everyone, I hope you have yourself a good week. I definitely hope that you not play yourself, but play a whole.
Show title.
Stop playing with yourself. Anyway, I hope you play a good variety of video games, but most importantly of all, thank you for listening to another fun-filled episode of Drunk Dash Nerds podcast.
Gables. Too sweet. Bye, guys. Byes. Oh, that was funny.